All right, Sunday, June 15th. This is the Lion Channel. I'm John, day 45 of my manifesting journey. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. We just had a Father's Day brunch. My family was over and they just left. It's about 5:30, and it was a very nice time. Conversations throughout, as I said. It's one of the manifestations, one of the things that have been changing. The person that I've always wanted to be, the person that I'm now falling asleep with, is a more sociable person. And so now I'm just being more sociable. All right. My whole life, I've wanted to be that way. I wanted to, have relationships with certain people that I just couldn't have, okay, for whatever reason. Maybe I was trying too hard, maybe I wasn't trying enough, but now whatever I do, it seems to be the magic formula. And so I'm having conversations with the people I've always wanted to have conversations with, and they're great conversation to the point where you're getting that kind of feedback from those people. um, so you know again, some of this stuff, people want the millions of dollars, okay, but some of this stuff, some of these manifestations are worth more than millions of dollars. Okay, they're more meaningful because millions of dollars will be great, don't get me wrong, and I know that's coming. Okay, it's already been ordered through Amazon and it will be here. But the other things, okay, these kinds of manifestations are the manifestations that can't be overlooked. Okay, and that's what I want to talk about in this video. I'm on David's school, and as I've mentioned, a few times on here, and 9 days ago, okay, I made a post talking about my manifestations that have happened over the last 2 months, which I've talked about on here. My health, how my health has changed, how my relationships have changed, how the finances are changing, how just the love for myself and just everyone has changed, and my happiness level is, I'm happier than I've ever been. Okay, and so this, I made this post 9 days ago. Okay, and when you're just starting off like I am, and you've really only been practicing this 2.5 months. Okay, so April 3rd, as I've mentioned on here before, that was the lowest of the low. Okay, I was at that, as low as you can get at that point. Okay, so it's been not even 2.5 months, maybe exactly 2.5 months that I've been falling asleep and the wish fulfilled. And so when I made the post 9 days ago, I did not, I, I didn't realize how powerful the post was, to the point where I still have people coming in and commenting on the post saying how outstanding it is. And basically, they've been trying to manifest for some time and they haven't been able to manifest. Okay, people that have been, lots of people who have been at this a lot longer than I have, and are having trouble for whatever reason, to the point where this one guy made a post last night and I read it this morning, and he said, this is very inspiring. Maybe I should be taking advice from you. And so, as flattering as that is, and reading that, as good as that made me feel, okay, David is still the GOAT. Like, he is, if you follow his coursework, if you go, I can't see, you know, people not getting results. If you go to the community and you follow how it's laid out, okay, and you just go through that and you practice, you're going to get results. I can't see anybody doing it consistently and applying it and not getting results. Okay, so but I can talk about things on here, like the way I responded to him is, I think what's happening and why I've gotten the results that I've gotten in the short period of time is, one, I had nothing to lose. Okay, I was about to check out anyway. So it was like at that point I'm completely open to anything. I know whatever I've done, I knew whatever I had done up until that point was not working. Okay, the way that I was choosing to see the world had gotten me where I was, which was I didn't want to be here anymore. Okay, and it's actually hard to say that phrase right now because I'm feeling the complete opposite now. Like, not only do I not want to be here anymore, but wild horses couldn't drag me away from here. Okay, so it's a complete 180. It's such a 180. It's a 180 with authority. Okay, I'm like rooted here now. And so starting from that place, like where I have nothing to lose, and finding the right thing and just being that open to it and accepting, I feel like that has taken me, because it was almost coming from a blank canvas. And now I was so open to it that now it was able to root itself inside me as a knowing that much faster than think about somebody who's kind of like, all right, I've heard some good things about this and let's see if it works. But it's kind of like that person who has 1 foot in the pool, 1 foot out of the pool. Like they're not sure if they want to get in the pool or not. And that seems to be mostly everyone who is trying this. It's like they're trying this, but they're also talking about other things. Or they're trying this and they're like, well, I think this is supposed to work. I've seen it work for other people, but they're still not completely convinced. And so the point you have to get to, and the point where, and the reason why this is working so well for me, I can tell you 100%, is that I know I've it's become a knowing. Like, I know this is a simulation. I know that this is the real world. Okay? And when you know it, you don't react. I don't react to anything in the simulation. The only time I react is if I react momentarily, because maybe it's tough to be present 24/7. So if I'm not present in that moment and something comes up, sometimes it could shock me for a second. But as soon as I feel myself reacting, I just go right back to the knowing. It's like that voice. Now I have that internal guidance to where it comes up, and it's like almost like an alarm that goes off, like, you're reacting, and I'm like, okay, it's a simulation. So at that point, done. So I don't react to anything because I know that I'm creating it all. And so when you know and you're not reacting, and you know that this is how it works, you're going to fall asleep every night, and you're going to make sure that you fall asleep in the state of consciousness that you want in your life tomorrow. You're not going to give in to anything. Like, when you know that it works, you're not going to fall asleep unless you're falling asleep in the state of consciousness that you want. Because why would you? You know that's how it works. You're not going to be lazy. That's not going to be an option. You're not going to lay down and just give in to falling asleep in old thoughts, because you know this is how it works. That would be like eating a food on purpose that you don't like. Like, why would you do that? Like, you know that this is how it works. And so when you know, it becomes a priority. And when you know, you don't react to the simulation. But if you don't know and you're just kind of like, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, then that's when nothing happens, because you're always looking for evidence. You're constantly looking for evidence. Well, if this works, then where's my manifestation? Why isn't it here yet? You know why it's not here yet? Right there. That's why it's not here yet. Because you don't know. Okay? Your belief hasn't changed to a knowing. So yeah, maybe you'll get like, a manifestation here and there, or you'll see glitches. Okay? But it has to become a knowing. And so, yeah, so first you have to be open to it for it to become a knowing. Like, you have to be looking out for glitches and things like that. And after the glitches come and after manifestations come, you also need to be aware that it's going to look like a logical sequence of events to you, or to everybody, and to you. Okay, so also it's going to be easy after something's manifested to look at it and say, well, that would have happened anyway, so that didn't prove anything. Okay, but it's always going to look that way, so you have to be ready for that. There's always going to be an explanation. But what you have to know is that those sequence of events that just made that happen, you did that. That wouldn't have happened if you weren't in the state of consciousness to make that happen. Something else would have happened that would have prevented it from happening. Okay? So it has to be a knowing. And that's all I wanted to talk about here, because the question, or that statement that the guy made, okay, everything is happening for you. So that happened for me to give him that answer and then talk about that in this video. Okay, to me, that's one of the most important things, if not the most important thing, is that it has to be a knowing. For anything to change, you have to know that this is how it works. You have to believe in it 100% to where you know it, just like you know that your next breath of air is coming. Okay? Or just like you know that when you order something on Amazon, it will be here. These are knowings. Just like you know that when you get up and you take your first step, the floor is going to hold you. I know this stuff. I know that this is how it works. And I didn't just magically get here. I got here from consistent application and making these videos and talking about glitches and immersing myself in this stuff and just listening to it over and over and over again. And any conversation that I'm having with anybody, I'm consistently thinking about this and matching up how people are acting and reacting to stuff and just saying, yeah, that's about right. Yep, I knew that was happening. Because of states of consciousness, people can't act outside of their states of consciousness. I'm in the same boat. You're in the same boat. Everyone is in the same boat. The way to change it is to know that this works, and then you will start applying it consistently. All right. So that's it for today. Happy Father's Day again to all the fathers out there. Day 46 tomorrow. I love you all, and I will see you then.